Hi, everybody. I'm Mace, your host of the Mad Mortgage Show, your source for no BS, in-depth mortgage discussion. Here we are back after a year-long hiatus due to that thing called COVID. Had to honestly kind of figure out how to work all this crap again, all this really expensive gear that we barely were learning how to use after 3 episodes. But now that we're back, we have our first guest back, Joe Wilson, the founder of SocialCoach. Thanks for joining us.
It's kind of a huge honor to be your first one back. Thanks for having me, man.
I mean, I got to be honest, whenever you came in, I was like, is Joe going to be bright-eyed and bushy-tailed at 8 o'clock in the morning? And you didn't surprise. So really excited about today's topic, social media, which is one that I'm not very good at myself. But I do know that most mortgage companies, statistically speaking, every LOA in the company is garbage at it. And so I think it's really cool to be able to kind of talk about that here today. And we have you, the expert. So let's just kick it off with what the heck is SocialCoach?
Yeah, so I hear what you're saying. Most mortgage companies and loan officers and real estate agents are not that great at social media, but they continually say that they need to be. And so there's this big chasm between what they want to do on social media, whether they're a mortgage company or an individual practitioner, and actually doing really well at it.
It's almost like saying I need to work out.
And I do. No, but I mean, it's true. It's the same kind of thing. It's like, gosh, I know if I do these things, my business is going to improve, but I don't know where to begin. And it actually became really apparent to me that this was important. A couple years ago, I was at a broker conference in Las Vegas, and it was a room full of like 500 to 600 people. And I was on a marketing technology panel. And at the end, there was a Q&A session. And a gal gets up, she's probably in her 60s, and she asks what type of social medias she should be on. And I was like, wow, that was an interesting question. But I was like, well, let's see, let's start talking about it. But everyone in the room started erupting because they wanted to know so much more about social media.
Right.
And I was like, and where they should do, how they can improve their business through the use of it. And I was like, man, there's actually something here, something that we can do to help this industry move forward and catch up with others that are doing so well on it. So what I did is that over the next couple of years, started interviewing loan officers who are doing really well at social media, mortgage companies, loan officers, other social media experts in different fields, try to figure out how can we get the mortgage industry up to speed and improve their business. Because here's the deal, is loan officers, real estate agents, they use their sphere of influence to sell, right? It's all localized. It's the perfect industry for social media, and no one's using it.
Right.
And if and so that's what we did. We figured out how to make it so stupid, so simple for loan officers to post on social media, either their company's content or create real authentic content for themselves to be able to improve their personal brand, capture their audience, and actually connect with their followers and sell more loans. That's it. Well,
The mortgage industry is definitely slow to adapt to a lot of things, and social media is the next one. Yeah. Well, I'm really glad that there is something out there targeting that. You did mention something, though, like as a former president of a mortgage company, social media also scares me. So talk to me a little bit about that, like from a company perspective.
Yeah, it is scary because loan officers are not historically the most thoughtful around what they want to say on social, right?
Or compliance,
right? And that's
yeah, I definitely want to talk about that. I really want to talk about that. Yeah.
And but as an owner of a mortgage company, there is a giant concern out there of, all right, if I open the reins and let my loan officers post whatever they want on social, what's going to happen? What are they going to say? Are they going to say something stupid? Am I going to get in trouble when my examiners come in? Am I going to be able to even prove what they've done? It just becomes so unwieldy so fast, right? And so what we did is we talked with a bunch of experts in the industry, including like Josh Weinberg, who I like to say is the king of the dweebs of compliance. And he would be, Josh, I know you're listening to this, and I mean that in the most endearing way, because he's literally incredible. He's the smartest guy I know in compliance. And he's like the darling of the CFPB. I reached out to Josh. I said, Josh, help me understand, what do you need from a compliance standpoint that I can say to the business owners of a mortgage company, you're going to be safe here.
Right.
And he helped walk me through this. And so basically what we figured out is 2 things. One, let's be proactive in the way that we handle compliance. So mortgage companies can say, here are the words that are sometimes okay to say, and here are the words and phrases that are never okay. I can't say I've got
free.
I can't say it's free. I've got the lowest rate. This is, I can't
no
say
cost.
no cost. I can say this is a great picture of my family, but I can't say this is a family neighborhood.
Got
Right?
it.
Those are things that you can't say. So, so it's really tricky to say those things. So those words and phrases are sometimes okay. You want to just flag those and say, hey, just review this, make sure it's okay. But those words and phrases like free or no cost or whatever, those are literally blocked, and you cannot post that through the Social Coach platform until you've removed that. So each company has the ability, their compliance department, to have that kind of overall control of what their LOs are saying on social media. And then we capture literally every single post that's ever been done, and we store it. So we say, here's who's posted it, where they've posted it, what they've potentially said that might have been wrong. And
so the LO posts through your platform.
They post, so they post one time, and we can push it out to Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter, all with one tap.
Got it.
And then the company has all records retained of everything that's happened. So when audit examiners come in, they can see, all right, here's a list, and here's everything that's ever been posted.
Got it.
And then they could say, here's my, here's
the things that went through Social Coach.
Yeah.
Anything that we didn't know about.
That wasn't part of my policy.
Right.
Right. Because having a good social media policy, or compliance policy, is the number one thing that's going to save you from having any concerns when your auditors come in.
Absolutely. Yeah. They can just point to that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh,
that's awesome. So let's talk a little bit about the fact that there are different social media platforms. I think that some people, I'll be on LinkedIn and see LOs trying to get loans in the mortgage industry. And I just want to tell them, dude, you're on LinkedIn. We're a platform where in the mortgage industry, everybody that you're talking to can do a loan, or they have somebody that can do a loan. So talk a little bit about the different, the approach that people should take with different platforms or different goals.
That's such a good question that I get all the time is, what should I post where? Right. And you're right. Mortgages is highly commoditized industry. We all have basically the same products, basically the same rates, given another, maybe a quarter to 3/8% difference. So it's all about you personally. And what's your story? Why do people want to do business with you versus the guy down the street?
Right.
And so when you're thinking about how do I connect with my audience, show them that I'm knowledgeable about this and not be annoying about it, you could do that in a really delightful ways on each platform. So LinkedIn, the things that work really, really well about LinkedIn is your business story, right? How did you get your start in the industry? What's going on at your company? What are the things that you're doing to promote your other employees there to show that, hey, I'm not just selling loans. I'm creating a business here. I'm helping families. Like, how did I overcome this hard problem with this borrower who just started their own company a year and a half ago, when typically you need 2 years of tax returns to be able to get a loan, right? Like those types of creative things, when it talks about business, put that on LinkedIn.
So it's almost like that Gary Vee thing, tell a story.
Tell a story. Yeah, LinkedIn is huge on stories, which you wouldn't think it would be, but they are. Those are the ones that get the highest engagement.
Right.
And then when we look at Facebook, typically it's your Aunt Susan and, grandma's on there. And so, share, more personal parts of your life on Facebook and connect with your audience on there, right? Do the pictures of your kids on, your family vacation, or talk about this great recipe you made, or pictures of dogs work so well too, right? It's like everyone loves a good dog, right?
That's why my dog, Butters, is on the About Us section of our page.
Very important.
Yeah.
And you should talk about that.
Yeah. We'll have a meeting with the client and they'll say, I love your dog on your website.
Well, how come you don't have him here in the office?
He was here yesterday, but I came here too early this morning because we had to reschedule you.
That's right. But so you think about it. Sorry, Facebook is more of those personal aspects, and Instagram is highlight reels and kind of more funny type things, right? The biggest thing on Instagram right now are reels, which is like the Instagram's ripoff of TikTok, which is fantastic, by the way. That is the best thing you could do, is try to figure out a way to be creative with your content and be a teachable moment, but funny about it. And if you look at, there's a lot of really good accounts out there. You look at a hashtag, hashtag mortgage. You can find some really fantastic content out there to take and make it your own.
All right. You just said a word that I'm going to talk about here, which is hashtags.
Yeah.
Y'all are using them wrong. All right. So tell us for the old people what a hashtag is, and then more importantly, how to properly use them.
That's a good question. And it's kind of an evolving science, to be honest with you. But there's a couple standards of things on hashtags that you can do and do them properly. And there's a lot of resources out there. If you just Google like hashtag strategy, you can and watch a 2-minute YouTube video, you'll become a master. It's really not that hard to become expert level on hashtags, because what it is it's a discoverable way to get your content out to people who are looking for that specific content. So
that topic.
Yeah. It's all about topics of what your content is, and that your hashtags should change based on the content that you're producing. Right. So if I'm doing, like we talked about on Facebook with, recipes, you maybe have a hashtag about, the type of meal that you're preparing. Right. But I wouldn't take that same hashtag and put it on my business story on LinkedIn, because it just wouldn't make any sense.
Right.
So your
so in your dog post, don't put hashtag mortgage life.
Yeah. I mean, well, you can, because people still watch that. But there's, you should have 30 hashtags on every single piece of your content.
You said 3?
30. 30. 30.
Okay.
If you're on Instagram, specifically 30 hashtags. And you can, which sounds like just insane, but that
how do you even get, how
do you get there?
Does SocialCoach help with that?
Well, we actually don't yet. That's a good, maybe we should do that but there are other services out there. If you Google them, you'll find some really good services out there that are free, like free apps, like hashtag
builders.
Yeah. Like if you just Google out there, you'll find some really good ones that will talk about what's hot and what's local in your area. Because again, you want to try to get to your specific area. So as a loan officer, I want to connect with people here in South Jordan, Utah, right? Or Sandy. Where are we? Sandy or South Jordan?
Sandy.
What is it? Sandy. Okay. You're just on the border. I have no idea. But like I want to talk about Sandy. I want to talk about South Jordan. I want to talk about, South County, Salt Lake City, right? And you want to get those hyper local ones as well.
To drive engagement
from people in your specific community, because those are the people that you want to do business with. You don't want to do business with people in Wyoming. Maybe you do. But I don't know. And nothing against people in Wyoming. They're lovely people. But if my focus is
if you're not licensed in Wyoming, don't target Wyoming.
Don't do it. Yeah, but if you want to focus on the people that are here in your community, there's plenty of people in every single community that you can do business with.
Right.
And that's actually, let me talk about something else on that, because this is something I'm also passionate about. Look
at this guy's drive. You see him drive?
Don't try to boil the ocean on social media. There are so many people that want to get to like 10,000 followers so they can have that blue check mark on Instagram. Mm-hmm. And as a loan officer, you probably only need 500 to 1,000 followers to have a really successful business on there. And it's the honest truth. But if you have to get hyper local with your content, hyper local with your strategy, in order to get loans from social media just in general, but from people that you actually can and want to do business with. Don't try to get people in, first of all, do not buy followers. Don't do it.
Don't buy followers.
No, seriously. If you
this is a thing.
This is literally a thing. You can literally buy followers. And if you spend any length of time on Instagram, you will get DMs from some random person in the Ukraine and asking you if you want to buy followers, and it'll be like $500 for 2,000 followers or something like that. If you buy followers, or you have followers that are unengaged with your content, it will ruin your engagement score, which is how the algorithms figure out if your content is worthy to be shown to your audience.
Yeah, Instagram's algorithm's quickly going to find out those are bad accounts.
Yeah, and that's why, again, you only need 500 to 1,000 followers as a loan officer of people who are hyper local, because they're going to be interested in your content. Right. If you have 10,000 followers, people who don't care about your content because you're posting about the new rec center that just opened up over here, or the Thai food restaurant over here, but which, by the way, Simply Thai, have you ever been there?
Not yet.
It's fantastic on 106. My wife's aunt actually owns that restaurant, and
nice.
It's amazing. You should go. Anyway,
so 10% engagement from 500 to 1,000 followers is much better than 0.5% of 10,000 followers.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's what happens is you're training the algorithm to say, hey, my followers love my content because it connects with them. So I will show it to them more.
Got it.
That's so important.
Quality over quantity.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So something we kind of talked about, because you mentioned when we came in here, was our gear and equipment that we've got in here that we, again, are learning how to use. But let's talk about video. Give us some video do's and don'ts.
I love that. So I think there's two schools of thoughts here. One, I mean, you do have like one of the most amazing setups I've ever seen, by the way. And I love to.
Thanks, Giles.
That's Giles. Great job, man. This is incredible. I mean, this is next level stuff, right? And if you're going to be doing a TV style production like you have here with Mad Mortgage, then this is really great. But for your average loan officer, this is totally unnecessary, right? Unless you're doing like maybe your strategy is to bring realtors in the office and do a local television show or podcast, something like that. Go for it, right? If you're super passionate about it and you can actually use it, do it. If you can plan that maybe there won't be a pandemic next year, like for you. No, but most people, your iPhone with a tripod is more than sufficient, and probably a microphone. And I actually did a fun reel about this the other day, doing different audio testing. So I did it I had my phone on the tripod, and I said, all right, here's me just playing in the room. This is what it sounds like. I threw in the AirPods. I said, this is what it's like with the AirPods. And then I had this $20 microphone from Amazon, and it just connected to the bottom of my iPhone, and then I put it on my lav here. Like a lavalier. Right, yeah, and the sound quality is so amazing. So for $20 on Amazon, you can literally change your whole aura on social media. And that $20 investment is super worth it. And then the tripod with the ring light. Yeah, that's another $20 too, right? Yeah. So all in your $40. I'm not even gonna take a guess about what all this costs, but I'm amazing. I would probably not be shocked by the cost with it. But as a LO, you don't need that. Yeah. Right? As an LO, you need to have a stable way for your phone to stay on there, so you're not giving the shakies, right? People will throw up when they're watching your videos because they feel like they're not staying still. And then the sound quality is really important. So those two things I think are really, really important for.
What about our angles?
Yeah. Yeah. So how do you want to do your angle? Do you want to have it up here? Like, the 13-year-old girls.
That's a no.
That's a no. Down here where you're seeing all the double chin, probably not. Just a nice, even what they say, the experts, because I'm not an expert.
Thirds?
It's, just you put your camera and you have the little camera icon right here if you're doing it this way, or if it's all on the back and you have that one with the fancy 3. You can do a quick test, by the way. This is kind of fun to see. If you're not sure where to look, which 3 of those, turn the camera on and just put your finger over them, and you can see where to go.
Which one did you
Which one it is. And it's this one. It's the one in the middle. Oh. Anyway, so fun fact. Anyway, put the camera at eye level, or like maybe an inch or two above. And that's the angle you should have it. And try not to tilt it or anything like that. And, I think most people are, one of the inhibitors of practicing regularity on social media is they're concerned what they look like or what they sound like. And here's the deal: is everyone
Luckily,
already knows,
I don't have to worry about that. I mean,
just good looking dude. Everyone already knows what you look like. Everyone already knows what you sound like, and they already like you.
Right.
So get over yourself.
Video's driven me insane with people not wanting to show their camera during this pandemic.
Yeah.
And I'm, if I showed up in your office, I would see you.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Just turn it on.
Just turn it on.
Yeah. And here's the other fun fact is video content performs 60% better. You get 60% better engagement than you would with a regular static post.
Wow.
So do video, turn your video on, and that's how you'll get better engagement.
And go and give them data quickly.
Yes.
I noticed some people want to do like a 14-second intro, and we're running at time. So speaking of fun facts, what is something that nobody knows about Joe Wilson?
It's hard when you put yourself out on social media all the time to figure something out that nobody knows about you. And so, as he showed this to me earlier, I was trying to think, what is it that nobody knows about me? And the only thing I could think of was something just kind of silly. I mean, I'm literally obsessed with real estate. And, I own a house, and I've owned it for years. And I literally, am addicted to looking at what the listings are in my neighborhood. And I don't know why. It's just like I have to know what everything has sold, what they're selling for, what the
sounds like my
sale
wife.
Price.
Babe, that house over there just went for this.
Yeah, I know. I know everything that happens, and I'm not a realtor, and I don't care. And so people ask me hey, so what do you think? And I get super passionate about it. And they're like, oh, are you an agent too? I'm like, no, I'm not, but maybe I should be, because I could maybe sell some homes too on the side. But that's something that's a little weird, but not too many people know about.
Well, Joe, thanks for joining us. I'll leave you an opportunity to plug yourself. How can people get a hold of you, try out SocialCoach? What would be a call to action for any of our listeners?
Yeah, just shoot me an email, joe@socialcoach.io, or check us out on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. If you just look at
you on social media?
I am, just a little bit. Connect with me on LinkedIn, follow us. We tend to share lots of really great tips every day on each of those different platforms. course about how to improve your social media game. But if you are a mortgage company and you're looking to help your loan officers close more loans, get more attention, build their brand, it will also build your company's brand as well. And that's something that we can help with, some enterprise social media management for each company.
I love it, man. Thanks again for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
All right.